you all hear the audio?
From my heart, the beats of a drum.
Listen with your heart.
Wake up, you're okay. Wake up, you're okay. It's but an illusion.
Okay, thank you, Ron.
Whatever you feel, it's but an illusion. Whatever you feel, you are loved. You are loved. You are loved. You at peace with whatever rises. I am love, no matter what I see. I am peace and serenity is inside of me. I will not be controlled by an outside force. I am a force of nature.
Woo!
I am a force of nature. I don't ever give up. I am a
Yes.
force of nature. I know you feel the power in your bones. I know you feel the power of your soul. This is a rebirth. This is a rebirth. This is a rebirth. This is a rebirth.
This is a rebirth, people.
You are more than what it seems. You are spirit when she sings. You might be broken in pieces, but you still are whole. This is but an illusion. This is but an illusion. Don't believe the lies. Don't believe the hype. Don't believe the lies. This is but an illusion. This is but an illusion. We are dreaming a new earth, ground Mama, she can handle it. Mama, she can handle it. We don't want. We are one with her. I am but the vessel. I channel from the I've walked through many valleys. I turn my shadows into superpowers. I give it so freely, 'cause it is not ours. And this is for the collective. This is for the collective. Remember who you are, my people. Remember who we are, my people. We are shamans, high priestess, healers, and fragments. Rest, dear souls. You have done your best. Rest your mind. You have done your best. Love, receive it. It is always on its way to you. It wasn't in vain, no. It wasn't in vain, no. It wouldn't be who you are today if it wasn't for the rainy days. Like a flower, when the time is divine, you shall bloom.
Woo. Welcome. Whew. So, I left planet Earth, and the waters was speaking to me. I was trying to go through my day, get my 3D matrix responsibility done, and this song hit me so hard. We are the managers of the water. We are the guardians of the water. And with what we're seeing right now, I talked about the water wars. This was a few years back. This child message kept coming through, and I didn't fully understand how it was related to us and regulating our emotions and connect the dots. Today, I woke up extremely vulnerable to the most sensitive nuances of energy. The trees were speaking to me. They were crying out because of the radiation on the planet. They're crying out this galactic cry, and I hear this, and I try to ignore it because in my mind, I'm a teacher, so I don't have time to be doing the RT things that I like to do right now. I need to be a responsible adult and work and manage the business. But that's not what I was supposed to be doing, because when you try to do something and it takes more effort than you have to give to it, it's because in that moment, that's not something you're supposed to be doing, even if it seems like it. Okay? So this was one of those moments where I stopped and the water began to speak to me saying, you must learn to regulate your emotions because you are the guardians of the water. We're trusting you with the water. That's why you're made up of over 70% water in your body, plasma, you know, most of our brain is water, and we're so emotional, right? And it's a lot to manage because a lot of us numbed out because of trauma. So we weren't being in our emotions as much as we are now because we're in a cosmic reset. Right now, we have been in the womb of the great dragon mother, which is the creation of all creation. She would be considered to be the feminine form of the Big Bang, okay? The feminine catalyst of the Big Bang. And she has these parts of her that are guardians to guard planet Earth. Mama Earth is not a one-woman team. She's part of a spiritual ecosystem of planetary beings, and they have government and rulings, and what we do here on the planet is just a smaller version of what they do. So as I'm talking to them and I'm saying, what is it that we're doing that is allowing our water to be poisoned? What is it that we're doing that is allowing the things that are happening on the planet now with the rainwater, the rivers, the lakes, the oceans? Like, we're having to boil our water. It's not safe to use it. Like, that's something that deserves attention, because without water, life cannot exist. And she said to me that the ego is the blockage to us being better energetic managers of what we create. And most of us create from a space of fear because we're trying to survive. We're here, we have these gifts activating. Maybe we don't have people around us in our day-to-day life that we could talk to about these things. We're trying to keep it copacetic. We're trying to balance it out. Have one foot on the earth and be able to still receive these downloads through the crown chakra. So, but the water was saying that we walked away from our first estate, which is the primordial waters. This is dark feminine energy, and it's healing. It's not comfortable. Rebirth is not comfortable. Labor is not comfortable, you know, but it is the necessary progression for this creation of a new being to be birthed, to come from the unseen hidden realm, to come into the seen realm. This is, as a woman with a womb, this is what my body has been engineered to do. And that ancestral engineering is speaking to me saying, you all are not speaking positively into the water that you're drinking enough. This is not an option or something that will benefit you to do occasionally. This is how we must live with the planet to heal. This is the oneness where every sip of water that we take, we're giving gratitude for it. And by doing that, we are also regulating our ability to navigate these emotions as we are healing some very deep inner child wounds that a lot of us didn't know we needed to address. So speaking to the water and the inner child inside of you can be rebirthed because of your relationship with H2O, the molecule that has yet to be explained. Its origins cannot be explained. Most of its properties cannot be explained. Water can shift into different forms. Water can go from being ice, frozen, and solid to a gas and back to a fluid, a liquid again. Those three phases of alchemy represents the triple feminine as well, the mother, the maiden, and the crone. This is the progression and the different octaves of healing with this feminine energy. And this is true. I give thanks for my water, but there are times where I cut my sink on. And because it's easily accessible to me, I'm not as grateful to see the water coming through my sink because I see it come through my sink all the time. And so you can get it, you drop into a space of not really being able to take things as they really are. To take that moment as the sacred moment that it is when there are millions of people on this planet who don't have water, that have to walk miles just to get water. It is our responsibility in countries where we have access to water to be the guardians of water, to be the guardians over ourselves, to practice emotional intelligence, to learn how to use our emotions for the benefit of all beings, to learn how to be less triggered into a reactionary response and more relaxed and respond from a place of wisdom, letting the heart speak, isolating the voice of the ego so that the heart can guide you. And as you shift through these different phases of energy, states of energy, you become a plasma being that is going to emit the same appreciation that you speak and cultivate. You're going to emit that everywhere that you go. You're transmitting that message. And I thought about how water also represents our relationships. The way we move through our relationships is a dance, and it's much like a dance of water. And sometimes the relationships get rough, and just like the ocean, the waves get bigger. And sometimes with the tides, the tides are low because of the moon. Again, lunar, feminine energy, right? And so our relationships go through these phases as well. But when we are separated from source energy and from spirit, we do not hear these messages, but they are being transmitted all day to assist you, to help you. There is no force that is more powerful than the ability for us to be an authentic energy, seeking our innermost being and willing to do whatever it takes to protect that which we are creating within. This is our responsibility as guardians. So if you are more emotional than you have been lately, you're being called to be a guardian over the element of water, to be an ally with the element of water. There should never, and I'm removing should, human me, removing should from my vocabulary, okay? Because it's unnecessary pressure. Shit just is what it is, all right? But it benefits you to also challenge yourself to be more like water in your relationships by being willing to take the path of least resistance, just as water does. Water doesn't find the most resistant path to flow. It's going to flow in the path that requires the least amount of energy. This is the wisdom and intelligence of water, right? So in our relationships, sometimes we get stuck in a cycle because we're closed off. We're in ego. We're closed off. We feel threatened. We don't feel safe. We feel suspicious maybe. We feel like we're being lied to about something, or we're the ones lying about something. We're people pleasing in our relationships, trying to be nice because we don't want to be real, because the cost of being real might be an argument. And that argument might be something that you can't come back from, and you don't trust yourself because your emotions already been all over the place. So you like, I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna say, so I'm just gonna not say anything. And then it accumulates in a relationship. This is stagnant water. So this is energetically accumulating in our relationships, and this starts with the relationship with yourself. So if you have this voice that speaks to you, that causes you to doubt yourself, that causes you to feel like everybody else can be successful at doing something, but you can't. That voice that tells you that you will never heal. The voice that says to you, you really don't even deserve to be in a relationship because you so messed up. I mean, we have these thoughts, and it's like the more we take the path of least resistance, the more we practice metacognition, just observing the thought and being like, curious, like, okay, I hear this thought. I don't have to have a ruling on this thought, right? You're removing the judgmental energy from your own self, which is going to allow the authentic you to show up more. I was told right before I pull the cards that I'm about to share with you, I was told to go deeper in authenticity publicly than I ever have before, and be more vulnerable than I ever have before. It's levels to everything. And I was sitting here thinking to myself of so many catastrophic possible outcomes that could come from me being my full self, because I'm a full motherfucking spectrum and it's infinite. I show up different every time. It's not that I'm being fake. I navigate my false self consciously. I put it on when I need to use the avatar for the 3D matrix, and I take it off and rest it. With practice, you learn how to isolate these varying facets of your personality, and you can use them based on the situation, what is being called for in that moment. Every moment doesn't call for you to be a warrior. Every moment doesn't call for you to be vulnerable or a warrior. So having intuition developed where you can discern what a moment is calling for you to show up as emotionally is ultimately the rebirth and the liberation that we're experiencing. So yes, there are chemicals and all types of stuff being put in the water. Yes, we cannot trust the rainwater anymore. I used to catch rainwater and save it. Like, I don't know about that. So yes, these things are happening, but what are we doing to our own selves? How are we poisoning the water within our own self? What part of us is still beating up on parts of ourselves we don't like? If you have a food addiction or sex addiction or love addiction, or maybe you tend to go to substances and drink more than you would like to, like how you being this spiritual being, but you still have these very natural, primal, even 3D, maybe ego-based coping mechanisms, and you kind of in between worlds right now. You're noticing. So as we are being quickened to go through this transformation, the only thing that is going to allow you to receive what you believe you are worthy of that hasn't showed up for you yet is authenticity. When it feels the most vulnerable is when it is the most powerful. I mean, if I'm messy, I'm just messy, and I'm authentically messy today. I'm not gonna lie about it. I'm not gonna try to kiss nobody's ass. I'm a hot fucking mess today. and just allowing yourself to be a mess. That's spiritual healing taking place. Allowing yourself to just be the whatever the water is doing in you, it needs to do it. If the water inside of you is boiling, it is something that needs to be purified. Don't repress the anger. This is me. I repress my anger. I repress my grief. I repress my rage. And as I was receiving this information, I said, well, how can we measure when we're really open to receive what we've been manifesting, what we've been calling for? How do you know when you're in receptive mode, right? I've been asking this question for a long time, and I wanted to get it directly from source. And it took like a long ass time for it to show up. But if you stay consistent and faithful and persistent, the answers that you want will show up as well. I'm no different. So I asked, how can we be more vulnerable? How can we be more of this non-egoic version of ourselves in interactions with one another? And how do we know when we're in receptive mode? Because if we're having interactions with other people while we're not in receptive mode, then we may be more likely to take shit personal in that moment, because you're just not fucking in receptive mode to receive advice or anything from anybody. So it's going to translate itself through the filter of the two eyes and your wounds as aggravation and, you know, something that's annoying you, when really just in that moment you're not in receptive mode. So the more you know yourself, you're able to say, I'm not really in a great space right now to receive this. Give me some time, and we can come back to this conversation, right? This tests you to see how afraid are you to set boundaries, because that setting boundaries is one of the main signs that you are becoming more authentic in your relationships. And some of us don't set boundaries because of narcissistic abuse, adverse childhood events, all of the things that we talk about in the course for the inner child healing and the 3D matrix detox course, for all of the social constructs and the archetypal programs used against us to keep us feeling less than who we really are. So what happens is, when you're not in receptive mode, being vulnerable don't feel safe to you. You're guarded. You don't feel safe to open up, and we get stuck in that space, especially if you are working on healing trauma. The inner child will shut down and not want to interact with the world because the inner child doesn't know how. But if you haven't done enough work, you can't isolate the inner child's emotions from your emotions in the present moment as the evolved version of your inner child, right? So the inner child may be feeling anxiety about something. When you don't reflect within yourself before you respond, the child will take over and you become reactionary. The limbic system is hijacked. You in fight, flight, freeze, or fawn, and the child is going to do whatever the child learned to do to stay safe. This is not allowing water to flow. Okay? And this is something that I have struggled with. So be more vulnerable, take chances, discern, use your intuition, use your pendulum, y'all. I'm using my pendulum every day. Use your pendulum and ask spirit to guide you and lead you and speak to you. If you don't know how, we have it on our website in the blog section. You can learn how to use the pendulum. It's so easy. And I also have a masterclass that's on Patreon for just $1, where you can get the masterclass for using the pendulum, because it can be used for so many things. But this is not the time to be stuck in between decisions. You want to be at least investigating yourself, spending enough time with yourself to know yourself better, and to be able to bring some order to some of these energies that we are being flooded with. We had coronal mass ejection a few days ago. So that energy is coming now. Like I feel it so strong. I can't really sit still for that long. It's a struggle to sit still sometimes. But at the same time, I feel tired as well. Like my body just wants me to take it slow. So taking it slow, speaking to your water, it's just going to help you to integrate some of the aspects of healing that maybe you have had a hard time integrating. So how y'all doing out there? I'm getting ready to pull the cards as well. Okay, I see you, Zero. What's up? Old fans from Brooklyn, spreading love from Brooklyn. Alicia, Ashay, Rod. Who else we got in here? Luz, what's up, Luz? Hello, together. What's up? Janet. I have to, like, I can't say Janet is Janet, just Janet. I don't know. Pink. Hi, hey, Angel. Yes. Okay. All right. Whew. So yes, use your tools. Before I pull these cards, let me say this. I'm allowing myself to be a conduit right now, but it is so important that you have your own practices, that you spend time with yourself in divination and working with spirit, working with nature, working with the elements. We are the guardians, and we have to stop talking about it as and finding old stuff to prove that there's something ancient and wise inside of us that is coming to the surface. And now it's time for us to actually start making some decisions and commitments to move forward. So the reason we have a crystal shop that sells so many different tools, because the more you are putting your hands to things that have these frequencies in them that you are working with, that amplifies your ability to connect with these energies. So it's just like when you're using a speaker, you can cut the volume up, you can cut the volume down, you can switch channels. That's going over to a different channel. So I started off using the Kali Lotus Lux and doing the Kali Mudra to create the sacred space for us to have this exchange. There are plenty of interferences in the air that wouldn't want you to receive this. And sometimes your mind is racing so fast, you're trying to listen to the person, but you're kind of all over the place and you scatterbrain. So this, if you had stillness of mind, it is because of the Kali Lotus Lux. We only have one of these left, I think. But if somebody really want to get one, and I think we are out of stock. Somebody just bought the last one. But you can message us, and I will make one. I will make it for you per order. So just send us a message and let us know. But they are out of stock. But I led with this, and I used my selenite stone. You know, we had what happened in Ohio with all of the poison, the chloride vinyl going into the air, that's going into all of the rivers. Ohio provides water for at least 6 states, maybe more. So the selenite is a stone of healing. This is a stone that many shamans use. And I just love stones that can refract light that way. So this is really powerful, very soothing energy. We also have this with a hemsa, which is a talisman of protection engraved on it. And I also started off with my highlight, the highlight pendulum that we have on the website. These are really good for connecting to cosmic energies. Some would say angels, but this is just a higher frequency of consciousness to connect to. And because of the color as well, it helps to calm down your nervous system. And so I started with these. And the indigo gabbro or merlinite stone, we're sold out of these, but I think we're going to bring them back. But these stones are really, really great for clearing out EMFs, clearing out those frequencies which make it difficult for us to receive spiritual downloads. So, you know, your mind being busy isn't always because you're not doing your best. Just like I was saying when I was singing the mantra in the beginning, it's not that your mind is not doing its best. You're doing the best that you can, okay? Like, I need somebody to say that to themselves. You are doing the best that you can. It don't matter how much better you think you can be doing, you're doing the best that you can. If you're watching this right now, you are doing the best that you can with what you have, okay? Encourage yourself as often as you need to. Speak to the water within your body. Speak to the water within your mind. Your cells are listening. And our ancestors are connected to our cells. Our cells are quantum entangled with the ancestors and with the stars. So we can harmonize our soul's galactic frequencies to be able to shift certain experiences on the planet and how they affect us. So I wanted to say that because I noticed sometimes we let our tools sit around and don't use them. Use your tools, okay? This is the sacral chakra potion. And we have blogs with everything that's in it. It's so much easier when you have everything that you need in a potion. Use your tools. We are guardians that are here to do this work. And I know life get busy, and I know you like, when do I have the time? Or maybe you feel an imposter syndrome. You just like, I kind of feel like one of them imposter spiritual people, because I don't really be doing a lot of shit with my spiritual gifts, barely. I get it. We come in and out of that, but at some point you got to say, okay, today I'm going to do something different. Today is that day. Okay, do something different today. So these tools help you to heal the subconscious mind of the programs that have us sometimes in ego because we don't feel safe to be our true selves. And most of us is quirky as hell. Some of us mean, quirky, crazy. I mean, we got a variety bag, y'all, on the planet. That's beautiful. There's nothing wrong with it. Like whatever. Like, you are what you are right now, and that's okay. This is a journey of evolution. It is okay, but the tools help you to connect with nature, with the wisdom that is embedded within the tools. So your spiritual path, you don't have to have these tools, but to be able to have something you're laying your hands and your eyes on, setting intention with, learning how to co-create with another energy that's sentient as well. This teaches you how to work with energy better. So I know we want to have fireballs and shit popping out our hands at will. I know we want to do the little cute shit. I can just see y'all now wanting to do some shit, wanting to be out there like the airbender and shit. Got all these moves and shit, got the wind moving how you want. I know you be wanting to do all that and run on top of trees and shit and walk on water. It's nice, but what can you do right here where you are with who you are right now? That's the question to be asking yourself. That is going to be beneficial. Okay, that is something that is going to solidify you truly are about this life. You are not fucking giving up. And it don't matter how hard it gets, you know ultimately that your connection to spirit, your connection to your I divine self will strengthen you to get through anything happens in this life. The tools build up your confidence. And so you can get to a point where you're so confident, you're giving your tools a break because you're like, I can just manifest this from my mind now and stay out the way. But are you in receptive mode? If you're being defensive, often you're not in receptive mode. If you already have 25 cuss words queued up before somebody jump in front of you on the expressway without signaling, that was already there. You had that shit preloaded. Okay, that's why it flowed out so easy, right? So that shit was just sitting inside of you. And it just took somebody to piss you off in traffic for it to come out. But when you can be more conscious, you can say, you know what? I think it's some stuff sitting inside of me, and I'm going to process this with breath. I'm going to find a creative, expressive way to process this. This might be some inner child trauma that I'm feeling coming up for me, and my anger was suppressed as a kid. And so now I just be angry about shit because the little kid in me needs to get out. However many sessions of anger the kid was supposed to have and they couldn't have, I'm getting it out now. So if I got 52 meltdowns left to go, I'm fucking with you, inner child, the whole way. We're going to have this meltdown. We're going to do it in a healthy way, okay? We're not going to be, doing nothing to harm nobody. We're going to find a creative way to get this out. And one of the things that helps me is to growling. It helps me to get those lower density emotions out. And so, You want it to be guttural and just let your throat chakra, just let that energy come through you in the form of sound. You are a spiritual being. Every sound that you make, every sound that your body makes, every fart, every gurgle, every burp, every sneeze, it's spiritual. You cannot separate the spiritual essence from a spiritual being. They are one. Okay? So the tools, we got stuff on sale. We got chakra bowls. Get it in with these chakra bowls. I'm going to clear the space before I speak to make sure there's nothing holding me back from this message. And I'm going to read these cards that I was told to share with y'all. And I'm going to try to check the chat when I'm done with that. I homeschool too, so I'm got my schedule, you know what I'm saying, and staggered right now. But I knew that it was important for me to do this, so my daughter don't mind a break. Woo! Throat chakra. Okay? So for anybody here who's having trouble with finding your voice or finding your truth or expressing your feelings or emotions, that's going to help you. Okay? That heals the throat chakra. Okay. Was it as good for y'all as it was for me? All right. The first card that I pulled for the collective today was the Mama Wata. Look at that. Can't make this up. Mama Wata. There's no need to. Spirit already got it scripted. It's for us to pay attention, and she represents naked. The naked. Who needs to get naked? I ain't made a let's get naked potion. Do we need to make a let's get naked potion? Because we can do it, Mama Wata. We can do it. Let's get naked. What does that mean? How does getting naked support us right now? This is about to get interesting. She is the goddess of emotional nakedness. I know some of y'all got a dirty mind, so you probably went way somewhere else with that, didn't it? It's all right. No shame. Her temple is the griots. Her element is water. Mama Wata and her sisters live in the Ikpoba River in Benin City, Nigeria. But the ancient mermaid goddess is her own global pantheon. Mama Wata influences emotions and gifts her followers with clairvoyance and healing powers. The guidance that she is giving is for us all to hide no more. No more hiding. The emotional nakedness you avoid is your superpower. It's not your shame. Woo! Look, the emotional nakedness you avoid is your superpower, not your shame. Oh, Shame have us feeling so less than what we truly are. Shame causes us to treat as trash what is meant to be divine. The things that we feel shame about are the containers of our most authentic self. What? You mean to tell me the things that I feel ashamed about is actually my access to my authentic self? Yes. You mean to tell me that the 3D matrix, with all of the constructs and the indoctrination through school, religion, music, entertainment, cartoons, nursery rhymes, I mean, there is no angle of this that has not been manipulated to enslave the psyche of the masses. You mean to tell me that shame is a virus coded into the true harmonic matrix that blocks us from embracing our authentic selves? And by embracing my shame, I'm offering love and compassion to all of my being. And that becomes the fuel for me to be authentic, even if what I'm doing is going against the grain and somebody don't like it. Maybe a lot of people don't like it, and I'm aware of it, but it's my truth. And it is my responsibility to guard and protect my truth, to honor my truth, to not wait for someone else to honor my truth to feel okay. It is my job to honor my own truth, even if no one else believes it to be true. It is mine, and no one determines how I feel about that except me. Baby, check this out. Practice, hold on, let me go back first. Being emotionally, because I want you to be able to embody this wisdom. Being emotionally naked means being vulnerable enough for the real you to shine through. Vulnerability is a strength, not a weakness. Okay, hold on. So shame is your access to your authentic self, and vulnerability is the strength that's created from you going into a space as your authentic self, holding on to yourself despite what's going on. And by you being vulnerable and honest, you access your superpowers, your supernatural gifts, the spiritual gifts that we all know and feel being activated within us. Vulnerability is the remedy for shame. What? Wait. So you mean to tell me if I am afraid of intimacy, true intimacy, because I don't feel pretty enough, smart enough, I make enough money, I'm not, whatever the thing is you don't feel like you're enough of. Because of that, I shrink and hide myself. So I'm not being vulnerable. I am sitting in my shame. I'm not challenging my shame with actions of vulnerability. So I forever feel weak and victimized by my circumstances, because my true strength comes when I'm able to be vulnerable in the right moment. Every moment is not for vulnerability, but when the moment opens for you to be vulnerable, you know, because shame is knocking on your door. You should feel bad about that. That wasn't, I've seen you do way better than that. That wasn't your best. You think you're a good mama, you okay, but that's kind of messed up how you ain't got up and cooked them a 3-course breakfast since the last holiday. We be feeling bad about the craziest shit. Like, I make sure they eat though. Yeah, but you would be a much better mama if you would make sure that they have this, and this, like that lady that you watch on YouTube. You see how she is? That, yeah, you would be a better mom if you was like her. That's shame. It's something inside of you don't feel okay with where you are right now. And so it manifests as this voice that shames us, you know. And this is a mass epidemic. Shame has a specific hurts and it is being used. Now, that does not take away your responsibility to work with these energies, but that is happening as well, okay? These are silent weapon wars. So, practice being transparent. Start with the people that's closest to you. Say to them, I haven't been showing the whole me, but I'm starting to do it today. Have the courage to feel and express your feelings without people pleasing. I know people pleasing feels like it creates safety and it avoids conflict, but it feels so much better to feel liberated from that and to speak from a space of authentic feelings, your authentic truth, even if it might ruffle some feathers, but you love yourself so much, you're like, I gotta be honest. Even if there are some repercussions I might not want, it's my integrity on the line that I care about. I have to be honest. That's not people pleasing. People pleasing is a manipulative tactic we learn as children to avoid drama, to avoid fights and arguments. So there's no shame in that. You did the best you could with what you were handed as a child. It's not your fault that you feel shame. That's the first thing. Like, it is not my fault. It don't even matter whose fault it is. I am grateful that I realized that being vulnerable will heal shame, will heal my intimacy issues, being emotionally unavailable, afraid to open up emotionally. So have the courage to feel and express your feelings without people pleasing. That's the challenge. I want y'all to keep this going from the time you see this. Let that be the challenge for you to show up for yourself in a new way. And it's not going to be easy. And it might feel unnerving at first. It's okay. But you will discover that there are some people who love you more unconditionally, even if it's not a thing. But they love you a little deeper than you know. But because you don't let the deep parts of you that might be rough around the edges come out, you haven't got a chance to experience them loving you when you're at your worst. Because maybe you know how to repress and hide your worst. And for most women on the planet and mothers, we are experts at hiding. Okay? We'll paint a smile on our face in a minute and get it done. And we'll do it every single day. And we'll cry every night. And be mad as fuck. And feel taken for granted. And just feel like the fucking patriarchy. Like, fuck the patriarchy. I'm sick of this shit. I go through this. And because I want us to be seen as peaceful, I wouldn't admit how fucking frustrated and how much rage I felt about what's happening to our planet and to our people and to our children. Trying to be nice and people pleasing and positive all the fucking time. No, that's not liberation. So speak your truth. Share your story. Cultivate an appreciation for vulnerability in others. Boom. When you practice this, you give other people, the inspiration to experience vulnerability without it being connected to something negative happening. Like, when you show up for yourself and be vulnerable and be authentic, other people are like, wow, I can be my authentic self too. That's really how it works. And one by one, the more authentic we become, the more we attract authentic energies into our lives. And some of those energies are people who have not yet been inspired by the way that you respond to become more authentic. We spark each other. This is why you can put a drop of water in the ocean. You're not going to be able to go in there and find that drop of water because there's a law of oneness, right? So good. So other people will appreciate vulnerability. And this is when we say things like, I appreciate you being real with me. That shit might have hurt it, whatever it was, but you like, I appreciate you being real with me. Because you could have lied to me and you did. That appreciation right there, that shit feel good to the soul, baby. That's not no surface holographic appreciation. That's the real deal. Holyfield. Getting whole on the field. So the next thing is being comfortable with feeling uncomfortable. Remember I say it's going to feel uncomfortable. But just keep practicing. It's going to feel less uncomfortable the more you practice it. Okay? And so you're practicing letting people be uncomfortable. You being uncomfortable and not trying to people please or fix anything. Just let it be. Just let it be. At some point, you got to trust spirit to do things for you on your behalf. We be trying to micromanage spirit. So this is Mama Wata. And I am of the lineage of the Mama Wata, which is why I have the gift of prophecy. And I'm very clairvoyant, clairsentient, clairaudient. And so, yeah, this is that energy coming through for the collective. All right. And Venus and Neptune is in Pisces right now, too. That's like illusions and what do you love and what are you passionate about? The truth is being revealed to us about us. Okay? So you can't push your truth down for too long. It'll make you sick. I've tried. Even if you're not being vulnerable with somebody else, be vulnerable with you or with a community of people you feel like you can trust, sharing some of your experiences with. And that's what we do in the Inner Child Healing Chakra Camps and in the 3D Matrix course. You're automatically added to a private group where we share things with one another throughout the journey. So that's there. You can be vulnerable in a sacred space that's already cultivated with like-minded people. And that's a good place to start, especially if you have difficulty trusting people, which is why we wanted to create that space, because that's so important. The more active we are in sacred spaces, the more power we have in the sacred places our soul is meant to go and experience. We're not going to disconnect from that because we're being more active in the space where we're appreciated, right? And we're among like-minded people. The next card, good stuff. The next card is Mommy Kumba Bang, baby. Mommy Kumba Bang. Speak up. Speak up. All right. This is the goddess of speaking up. Her temple is also the griots. Her element is water. Mama Kumba Bang protects the mouth of the Senegal River. When making an offering to her, you must not speak to anyone else, coming or going. Sing for her. Chant for her. Call to her. Give Goddess Kumba your voice and she'll be happy. The guidance that she is giving is for us to speak up. Speak out. Speak on it. You have a right to be heard. Woo! You have a right to be heard. It don't have to make sense. You have a right to be heard. Spiritual shit don't make sense. You have a right to be heard. Do you know that? Do you feel heard? Do you feel seen? If you do not, give that to yourself. This ain't about nobody else. This is about you right now. The embodiment of Mama Kumba Bang. You are betraying yourself by not speaking up. Your words have power. Own your voice. As the old saying goes, stand up for something or fall for anything. Being neutral is not an option. What you stand firmly in, when you stand firmly in your truth, you have thoughts, opinions, beliefs, and convictions. What do you stand for? Tell somebody today. It sounds like I was about to take you out of church right there. What do you stand for? Tell somebody today. Speak up. What do I stand for and what don't I stand for? If you don't stand for violence and abuse and drama, speak up. I don't stand for drama, violence, and abuse. No, it's not part of who I am. I am going to exit this conversation. This is you talking to your own self. Talk back to them thoughts. Talk back to them thoughts. Speak on it. Don't let no thoughts be in your mind rent free. Just living and doing whatever you want to do. Speak up. Speak out and speak on it. And start speaking words of love to yourself as often as possible. This neutralizes the ego, and it allows us to be more fully of our whole self. And when you being your whole self, time and space dissipates. You don't even notice how much time went by. We used to say when you're having a good time, time go by fast. But time been going by fast as hell. So why in the fuck ain't we having a good time? It's because we're not speaking up. Especially for me. It's been coming up for me for weeks. And I do speak up and I share a lot. But it's some things I haven't been speaking on that I want to speak on. And I've been waiting for the right moment to move from a place of inspiration. The water told me today, speak up. And, I want to encourage you that whatever you are inspired to do, it is your responsibility to respond to you in a way that is comforting to your soul. And by doing that, you will always walk your path of truth. You will not be disillusioned. This is just an illusion. This is just an illusion. Speak up, speak out, speak on it. When them thoughts flowing, speak up, speak out, speak on it. Have fun with it. Enjoy it. You gotta go through the highs and the lows, but can you enjoy the lows? Embracing our shadow side is learning how to enjoy the lows, learning how to be sad and grieve and not have to rush it away, but just like, I'm just here. I'm thankful that I can be present with that part of me that grieved as a child, but never got a chance to really be supported while I was grieving at whatever it was that I was going through as a child. I'm grateful. I feel this emotion right now. It don't feel good. It don't make sense to me. I would rather be feeling something else, but I'm not going to rush past this emotion. Right? And it is an illusion that is telling me this emotion is somehow going to take my life or destroy me, and I'm in danger. I am not in danger. I am not in danger. I'm okay. I'm okay. If this is something my inner child felt and they were not allowed to feel and no one validated them, I'm going to validate me right now. I love you. You have a right to not feel safe. You have shared your truth and you were not believed. Some of us were abused and we told somebody and they didn't believe us. And that was the beginning of us, our throat chakra, not being able to speak our truths. A lot of us can't even feel our truths. The more you connect with your inner child, the more you feel your truth. And it's okay that you don't know what your truth is. We're figuring out who we are and we're recreating ourselves. I told you I'm a different person every time I get on here. It is no shame in that. I am so proud that I'm able to be liberated enough to show up as however spirit is desiring to show up through me. I am a whole lot of contradictions wrapped up in a package of divinity. It makes absolutely no sense. I mean, came to the comedy special, you heard me talk a whole different way. You would think Richard Pryor was my daddy. You know what I'm saying? Like, shit. But it's all spiritual. It's all spiritual. And we have allowed ourselves to become victims to the psychological enslavement of the 3D matrix. These are codes, and these zeros and ones create narratives and stories, and they hijack your inner child trauma to fuel the narrative in the present moment so that you're separated from that present moment. But if you are just observing yourself feeling sad, observing yourself feeling angry, observing yourself feeling lonely, validating the feeling like, oh, I get it, you have a right to feel this way. It's okay. I'm not leaving you. I'm gonna stay right here with you. These are the things that you learn to do in the course. So I take you through the false self funeral. These are ceremonies for the soul. And it helps us to break free of the illusion. None of us are above the illusion. At any point in time, you can drop back down into the illusion. It happens all the time. How would you know you're in an illusion if you're in an illusion? Those are the moments when we're not self-aware. Those are the moments where we can't see ourselves because our true self is uncomfortable to see in that moment, you know? And I wasn't the best mother with my first child. Whenever I see her, I have to see the ignorance I had in the form of program that I passed down to her, especially the strong black woman thing, you know? But by me working through the ceremonies that we have in the course, I was able to experience that outside of the illusion, which was the lesson that she's learning and the resilience that she gained. She will balance out in her own timing. There are no regrets, there are no mistakes, and there is nothing that ever happened in your past that was for nothing. Connecting to your inner child is how you discover this stuff. The inner child is the inner genie, baby. The inner child is that inner magic, that inner mojo. The inner child believes in you. But the inner child might be a little standoffish because of some of the ways that you treat yourself, some of the thoughts that you allow yourself to think, and some of the emotions that you don't offer love to yourself for feeling. So if you offer love to the emotion instead of trying to rush it away, I do be trying. I try to rush through it, but sometimes I gotta be with it until it's time for me to not be with it anymore. And again, you choose on your own, work with your pendulum and see, like, is this something I need to sit with for a moment? Is there some healing happening here and I don't need to rush through this emotion right now? What can help me right now? So we have the journal prompts and we have the 13-day soul retrieval in there. And so one day at a time, you're going to have the prompts and the information to connect with your soul's higher galactic frequency. And that helps you to navigate the 3D matrix without getting lost in the illusions so that your beautiful self can shine. Because y'all are important. Y'all matter. Y'all got stuff to do. And so let me check the chat out right quick. I don't know. It look like I got a black eye, but I don't. You know what's going on. It's just shadows. It's a shadow. Left eye. Okay, let's see what's going on in here. Oh yeah, the chemtrails and the harvest. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's we have to develop a stronger relationship with water. First, we trying to skip over steps. We need to develop a stronger relationship of gratitude and appreciation with water so that we can be more balanced, to be more in tune with our intuition, which is the feminine hemisphere of the brain. So this is the patriarchy did a number on us. Men out there trying to figure out how to emotionally connect with women, and women not wanting to do shit unless there's emotional connection now. And so men out there, like, I hope y'all is studying. All right, start off with The Way of the Superior Man by David Data, fellas. Get your emotional, y'all go and work out at the gym, but we need you to get in the emotional gym now because we need y'all to show up like you never have before. Hey, Indigo Palma. Yes, energies are everywhere. Yes, they are. That's my dark sister right there. Hey, Medicine Queen. Peace, Medicine Queen. I was thinking about you yesterday. Man, you gotta talk. Hollow says, hit that. Thank you, Hollow. Hit that like one time. It's free. I promise. Hollow. You definitely not Hollow, though. You know that. I appreciate you. I hardly ever remember to say that. And I get off and I'm like, dang, I'm sure some people want to give a donation or something. I be so passionate in tune with what I'm doing. Yeah, thank you for that. Yes, give a donation and like, share, and subscribe, y'all. The more we share things that help lift our vibrations or bring clarity for us, the more that you're being active. Again, it's about how active you are being. What are you investing your energy in doing? So if you don't do anything else, share the videos, share the channel. Rob Blackstorm, I say this on my channel. Ashe. We gonna connect, Rob Blackstorm. You got a channel, okay. Yeah. I'm gonna check you out. Let's see. So yeah, it started to rain over here about 3 minutes before before I pulled a mama water car. You see what I mean, Zero? So see, in the song that I was playing, shit, I love y'all so much. There's so many beautiful things that I would love to express to y'all right now. I'm trying to contain myself, but I'm just full of sweet water today. But I was going to say, yes, the connection to water, paying attention to that, okay? We don't have to be freaked out by the fact that water is being contaminated, right? We don't have to, because we are the cure. We are the cure. We are the cure, right? That's why we're here, to be the cure, to move with no fear, to remember who you are, to remember that the divine is here, and trusting in your our divine self. Through life you will steer. Through primordial chaotic waters, divinity will always be near. Trust and believe that. Move with no fear. Your spirit guides, synchronicities, and signs are guiding you here. Guiding you wherever else you need to be and need to go. For you are an infinite, immortal, powerful, love creator being with 7 essences of your soul. Yeah, it's not just one soul, 7 pieces of your soul. Yeah. I had to hop down in my rhyme bag right quick, make sure these words penetrate you up in here. Because this virus that's going on is a heart chakra virus. It's making us numb. It's making it hard for us to feel empathy. That's okay though. We got to work for that. So look, the chorus. I'm not trying to sell y'all nothing for the sake of just selling something. I mean this. Do this work and you will see results. You will see results. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. This message was for you. Tap in. Practice. We are the healers of the earth. And I don't want my phone to cut off, but if you want to book a reading as well, the schedule is open for you to book readings. Let's get more active with each other and support each other's communities and tribes. Rob, check your channel out and I'm going to subscribe. Like, this is how we moving now. We moving with a tribe vibe. It's time for us to step out of our comfort zone so we can truly be alive. And I know it's so much going on, and I know how it feels to be ambitious, but at the same time you feel tired. You're tired tomorrow before you wake up today. That's by design. But it's so much that you can do even when your energy is low. That's a gift. Innovate in that space. Sit in that space. Turn your shadows into superpowers. What can you do even if your energy is low? Can you pray? Can you sing to nature? Right? What can you do? There's so many things that you can do. We're so in such a rush to be somewhere else. We're not fully experiencing what's present for us in the present moment. It's something right in front of you that you're looking over. It's something right in front of you that's speaking to you and you've been looking over it. And when you get off the lives, you're going to be like, oh my goodness, this has been right in front of me the whole time. Nothing can be divided between us. This is the age of Aquarius, baby. We're in the new age, cosmic reset. The red magnetic dragon entrance on February 3rd, 2023. Look at those numbers. 3, 2, 23, master number, master builders. Like, we're here. And I know that it gets difficult to believe that, but we are here. Put yourself out there more. Be more vulnerable. Take chances in being vulnerable. You won't know if it's a snake in the grass unless you be vulnerable, but you also won't know if there is a best friend in the grass, and it might be the snake. You don't know. Like, we don't have to allow our trauma and our narratives to dictate every aspect of the day. It's going to show up sometime. It's a part of being human. But I'm telling y'all, if you get in and do this work, get your tools and do this work and be consistent, It's nothing that you're not going to be able to accomplish, but you must be open to receive. And that does mean exposing yourself to possibly being rejected and judged. It does. Not all the time, but sometimes. Make sure that you are standing, living, and embodying in your truth, especially when you get pushed back. All right? So I'm going to get off here. I love y'all. Head over to the website. Thank y'all so much for your time today. And yes, go to the website, see what's over there, look around, see what resonates, and I see y'all over there. I don't know what's going to happen next, but this water healing, we are the guardians, okay? So let's be more responsible with this energy of water, of emotion that is being amplified within us. And let's practice the frequency of love and compassion and non-judgment more than anything else, and you will feel better. If you don't do nothing else, you will feel a shift. All right. May your third eye has just been kissed.